Today's episode is brought to you by the Be Real Podcasting Network. For more episodes like this, check out BREELnetwork.com.
We haven't done a good intro in a while. Like a start out where we're just like, welcome back to For Your Distraction. I am one of your hosts, Scott. And
you're like whisper yelling right now.
It's a whisper yell?
It's like you're trying to yell, but you're also whispering like, yeah, welcome back to Yeah, it's like a whisper yell.
Well,
it's like you're trying to yell, but you remember you have a family that you don't want to wake up, so.
I don't think it's that. I think I'm gonna pull a Jamie Foxx, and I'm going to blame it on the alcohol.
Oh,
we've been drinking, so... Plus, I had some dental work done, so I'm on painkillers.
So you're like a double dose.
So
right
when you have painkillers, and we did shots, and now we're drinking beer, so I'm feeling pretty good.
You are?
Pretty good.
Okay,
yeah.
That's a good thing then. Never mind what your body's telling you. Don't mix painkillers and alcohol. If it feels good, it feels good.
So before we do the beer of the show, Adam, I have a big announcement.
A big one?
Big, huge.
It's the greatest announcement in the entire world. It's to ever be announced.
First off, I'd like to apologize to our listeners for last episode.
You're
because
always apologizing over the serious topic. Stop it.
I felt like our entire show, first of all, it went a little long. But not only that, we talked about politics the whole time. And I hate doing that. I hate doing it. I don't mind talking a little bit. A little bit's good, but we talked the whole show, Adam. I want to avoid that.
Let's be honest, you love it.
I don't love it.
Love it.
Especially in today's day and age, I don't love it. But my big announcement.
Yes.
Last episode, we discussed school board a little bit. And
tad bit.
Well, what'd you say about school board?
It's not as big as senators and congressmen.
I think you said it was useless.
I didn't say it was useless. I said it's not as useful, and it doesn't get as much done as senators and Congress, and it's because of money issues. Because if you're on the school board, there's a higher chance you don't make as much money as senators and congressmen and the president
make any
and all
money.
this stuff. Exactly. So
you don't make any money.
Therefore, not really anything gets accomplished for the most part. Because it's all about the money, baby.
So not only you, but you telling me that last week kind of fired me up a little bit. But I also have a friend. As you know, Adam, you and I are both members of the Mercer County Young Democrats. We live here in Western Pennsylvania in Mercer County. We're members of the Mercer County Young Democrats, but I'm
loosely a member. They always seem to meet when I'm at work. So.
Technically, you're a member.
So
I'm also a member of a different group. I'm a member of the Democratic Women of Mercer County. And I know what you're thinking. I'm not a woman.
Everybody's got a group.
I'm not a woman, right?
I wasn't thinking that. But
I'm not. I'm not a woman.
I think deep down inside, Scott, deep down at your core.
Well, deep down inside in all of our cores.
You got a bit of a feminine wild about you.
I've said it before. Gender is just a social construct. So gender doesn't matter. But I am a member of the Mercer County, or the Democrat Women of Mercer County. And you don't have to be a woman. Anybody can join. And one of the president of it, actually, she's a friend of mine. Basically, I'm beating around the bush.
A little bit.
That's what I have to show you.
Are you trying to be a member of the school board?
I'm going to post this. I'm making it official here. I am running for school board.
Are you legitimately running for school board? Or is
yes
it like,
and
or
no.
is it like one of those things where it's like, I got a job, I'm just going to do it, just throw my name in?
Yes and no. See, how it works is if you want to be on the ballot, you have to go out and get signatures, and you have to turn these signatures in to the courthouse before a certain date to get on the ballot. I had no intention of doing this. I've often thought how I'd like to be on school
Busy
board.
sitting here drinking too much beer to do that?
Eventually, I thought to myself, I'd want to run eventually. But, now's not the time. I got too much going on.
Well, the thing to remember, a bit of encouragement, Scott, is you got a couple daughters. They're going to be going to school at some point. Would it be better to try to become a member of the school board when they're going to school to try to fix things? Or would it be better to be a member before they go to school to try to fix things so that when they go into it?
Well,
Bit of encouragement for you.
You do have a point. Well, people been in my ear, you should do this, you should do this. And I was like, well, I'd like to eventually, but I don't think I'm going to. See, I live in a school district. It's West Middlesex School District. It's here in Mercer County in western Pennsylvania. It's a very small district. And I'm not from here. I moved to this district in 2002. So I've lived here for 15 years, but I didn't attend school here.
Plenty of time.
I didn't attend. I don't have a last name of a family that's from here. So I never thought I'd actually have a chance of winning. So the ballot came out, okay? There's 4 vacant seats for the school board. And there's 3 names on the ballot. Only 3 people got their signatures together, and so there's a complete open seat. So I said, wow, everybody's trying to get me to run. There's only 3 people running for 4 seats. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull the trigger. So I'm doing a write-in campaign.
So if you get picked, what's going to stop you from doing it?
What do you mean?
If you get picked to be on the board,
I'm going to be on the board.
Okay, well, you're the way you're talking is like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm actually going to do it. Or
I didn't know that I was going to do it, and then I finally made the decision that I was.
Oh, I thought you got your name on the ballot, and then you said, "Well, I don't know if I'm actually going to go through it."
My name will not be on the ballot. I did not get my shit together in time to be on the ballot.
But you're going to be on the board
if I win. I gotta win.
I thought you said there was 4 seats open, 4 people running. Isn't that an automatic win, basically?
There's not 4 people running.
Who's running?
There's 3 people running. There's 3 people on the ballot with 4 open seats.
Okay. So then
let me finish.
How do you not get in then?
Because first of all, you have to get a minimum of 10 votes, which hopefully
you can get.
So I ordered business cards, and there's 3 different polling places in the West Middlesex School District. I have people going to each polling place and handing out my cards that say, write in Scott Malinke for West Middlesex School Board. They're being handed out to people as we go. And so I thought, this is going to be easy. Since then, another person from this town has started a write-in campaign.
Uh-oh.
So it's not going to be as easy as you make it out to be, Adam.
Scadios.
So this other person is a Republican.
Oh, boy.
And they are very pro-charter school. I actually know I don't know this person, but I know the family, and they're a good family. So I hope that if this person wins, they would do the right thing. I'm very pro-education. I come from a long line of teachers. So you're asking... There's different things I'd like to do. Yes, you nailed the nail on the head when you said, you have 2 young daughters. And I do. And they're going to be school age before you know it. And I want them to have the best education you can have. So basically, long story short, I'm running for school board. So if anybody listening to this podcast lives in the West Middlesex School District, I really would appreciate your vote in the Pennsylvania local primaries on May 16th. All you have to do is when it says school director, you write in Scott Malinke, SCOTTMALENKY, and I will post my awesome sign I had made. So I'll post that on our social media.
And if you live in the West Middlesex area and you listen to the show, I would appreciate just an email to let me know that there is anybody in the West Middlesex area that actually listened to the show. I would appreciate that.
What's our email, Adam?
For distraction at gmail.com. That is for your distraction at gmail.com.
So I've gotten to the point where it's basically like, what have I got to lose?
Yeah.
Nothing to gain, nothing to win.
That's how all great movements get started. Is people saying, what do I got to lose? Why not?
If anybody wants to go all in and I'm not gonna put tons of money into it. I'm not gonna do anything like that. But basically, people were talking my ear off, trying to get me to do it, and I think I've got some good ideas. Got some good ideas. If
At the very
God
least,
willing, I was be able to get elected.
at the very least, you have some ideas. Whether
do. I
they're
have
good
some-
or not, you've got some ideas.
Got some ideas.
More than what I can say what most politicians have. So, I'm rooting for you. If I could vote for you, I would, but I can't.
You don't live in West Middlesex School District.
I don't live in this rat hole. So,
No.
bit of a rat hole. Not. It's tiny, tiny.
Well, you could always go hand out paraphernalia for me.
Oh, that takes work. I've got a job. I got a full-time job. I'm going back to school in 3 months. I got to get prepared, man. I
see how it is.
I got to make money, man. That's what I got to
see
do.
how it is. And I was going to make you my campaign manager.
Oh, you don't want that. You don't want that, Scott. It's gonna
I
be a
don't
lot.
want
It's
a
gonna be a
campaign
lot of
manager.
booze and alcohol and stuff like that. That campaign. No, you don't want that. It's gonna be a lot of me. Hold on, be like, hey, let's get Scott Malinky elected. Like, what do we got to do first, guys? Well, you're the manager. What do we have to do? I'm the idea guy.
All right, so I'll keep you posted on that.
Yes, keep me posted. I will be in full support of you, Scott Malinky. Full support. 100%. 110%. Give that extra 10.
So the beer of the show.
Beer of the show. Let's get to drinking now that we are finished talking about politics for the episode.
So this is a beer I've had before, and I've actually been to this brewery and had the beer there, and I was pleasantly surprised to see it in bottles in our neck of the woods. So I picked it up. It is from the Columbus Brewing Company in Columbus, Ohio. It is their IPA, India Pale Ale, which I'm a big fan of IPAs. Adam, I know you're not. You've said it many times. You said you like them more now than you used to, but you're still not a real big fan.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, but I mean, they're growing on me a little bit. They're growing.
I personally really like IPAs, and I've not been picking IPAs for beers of the show because I know you don't like them.
And I've always encouraged you, don't worry about that. Let it go. Pick the beer you want to pick.
And I didn't. I picked the beer I want to pick.
Good job.
I've had this beer before. I know I like it. And I was excited to see it here. So I think it's your turn to go first.
It is my turn. The Columbus Brewing Company's IPA India Pale Ale. I don't like it. Don't like it. Not a fan.
You don't like IPAs?
I don't like it. I've recently had a couple IPAs that I have kind of enjoyed that I've said is pretty good. I don't like it. It's so insanely bitter. For my palate, at least, it's insanely bitter. If you don't like IPAs, this is just going to hit you and it's just going to vibrate your taste buds, not in a good way. Not in a great way. So
you're telling me you're gonna drink this bottle and then you're gonna switch to Yingling?
I'm probably going to do that, honestly, to get the taste off me, honestly. Like, seriously, like, it's generic IPA, I guess is what you would say. There's no, my trademark is soon to be on this term, wow factor to it. It's just like, generic IPA. Very strong IPA in my opinion. So if you like IPAs, you'll love it. It's got very bitter taste, but if you don't, it's not going to hit you. I give it a 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. I can recognize it's a good IPA, so that's why I didn't get a 1, but I still didn't like it personally, so it's a 2.
Fair enough. I think you're being generous, but thank you. I'm
still gonna finish this bottle I'm drinking though, because I can't. Despite the fact I don't like it, I can't bring myself to waste beer. So
right. There's this place, next time we record, if God willing, I'm gonna have you come over and we're gonna go to this lovely place. It's over in Ohio. It's not far from here, but they have a craft beer selection that will blow your mind, and we're gonna select some beers that I want you to find the wow factor, Adam. You always talk about the wow factor. I want you to find the wow factor.
I will be more than happy to find the wow factor.
So we're gonna go do that. So we'll keep you guys posted on this. I'm gonna give the beer. Well, it's an IPA. I don't think this is overly bitter at all. I think it's a classic IPA, which definitely has that hoppy flavor. And hops can get very bitter. So if you don't like that, you're not going to like this. But I've had double IPAs before and triple IPAs, and those ones, enough to make your teeth rattle. So this one is very tame compared to those. So if you think this is overly bitter, I'd like you to try a double IPA.
Oh, my face will be dead at that point. I might have a heart attack or something.
As I said, I've gone to the Columbus Brewing Company. Wasn't impressed. Was not impressed with the brewery. They had like a menu. They actually had like a restaurant there. The food was very par to Midland, very vanilla, very pedestrian. I wasn't pleased at all with the food. The beer on tap, they were a brewery, and they only had like a handful of their own beers or half a dozen of their own beers, and they had like Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light on tap.
Anything light,
And
lost
I'm just
points
like,
with you.
why are you a brewery and you have these other beers? Like Anyway, I like this beer, but I don't think it's anything spectacular compared to other IPAs I've had. So I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Really?
It's also going to lose some points because I'm just not a fan of the city of Columbus. I mean, it's okay. I'm not an Ohio State Buckeye fan. I think they suck giant dicks. But
Come on, it's got to be an impartial judgment on the beer.
no, I can give it whatever the fuck I want, and I can rate it on whatever I want. The bottle is just very plain. There's nothing fantastic to it. I'm sure you'll take a photo and put it on our social media just to show people what it is. But I'm going to give it a 3.5. Very, very average. I like IPAs.
Still slightly above average. Still slightly above average.
Right. But it's because I like IPAs. And I haven't had one in a while here on the show. So the Columbus Brewing Company IPA. That's what you're doing for me.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, have you ever heard of the TV show Catfish?
I have.
You have on MTV?
Yes.
What do you think of that show?
You
know the concept of the show, right?
I do.
For those of you that don't know, concept of the show is Catfish is an MTV TV show that has nothing to do with music, obviously. Where these
nothing to do with fishing either.
Yeah, that too. Where these two guys, these hosts, they follow these
Niv?
It's Nev. Nev and Max.
I think it's Neve.
Is it Neve? It's spelled N-E-V.
I think he pronounces it Neve. There should be two E's if you want to pronounce it Neve, but
Maybe.
Max. So the guy Max, he looks like he's like 30 years old.
He does.
Except he's got like gray ass hair.
He does too.
Like, how do you have gray hair when you're like 30?
It's MTV. They probably just threw him a bone. They probably just threw him onto the host list. But the show is about these two guys that find these late teens, like I'm talking like late teens, early 20s people that get in these online relationships with these people, and they say, oh, how'd you meet, blah blah blah, how'd this happen, like, are you interested in meeting them? Basically the concept of the show is they when they find these people, they orchestrate get-togethers with the person that fell in love with them, with the online presence. So a lot of times I imagine, I've only seen one episode ever, but a lot of times I imagine it's a girl that fell in love with a guy online and they orchestrate a get together where they take the girl to meet up with the guy online and they find out that, oh, it's not what they said they were and blah, 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 and this shit like that. What do you think of the show?
So it all started, I kind of know a little bit about it. It started out as like a full-length special. The main character, Neve, he himself got catfished. And it started out with this special that aired on MTV, and it was insanely popular. He was apparently in this long-distance relationship with somebody online who he'd never physically met, and that's when he got down to like, okay, I'm going to like look into it, I'm going to investigate this. He found out that the person he thought he was talking to for all these years wasn't really who they said they were, and the whole story about catfishing, it was some kind of metaphor for something. They explained it. It made no fucking sense to me. I'm like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm really not good with metaphors, so it didn't really make too much sense to me. But that's the reason why the show is called Catfish. It has some kind of metaphor to do with catfish when they put them in a holding tank with the other fish they're trying to catch, just like fuck with them. I don't know. It was weird. But the whole point was this special that they did was so insanely popular. So that MTV or Neve himself, they got this great idea. They're like, I can't be the only one who's being catfished out there. So they started the show where each week, each episode, they find somebody online who basically somebody says, hey, they send them an email and they read it. Hey, Neve, I've been in this long distance relationship with this girl, and we love each other. We've been together for 16 years. I'm just making this up. Like, and basically, I've never met her. I've never met her, and we've talked on the phone like twice ever. Like, I'm like, okay, that's a big red fucking flag right there.
Right.
So, and then he like goes to get this, and he has like all this kind of technology. He's like almost like an investigative reporter, where he like gets down to the brass tacks, and 9 times out of 10, it's not who they say they are, and it's a big disaster.
Apparently, they're still in the air though. They're going on their season 6.
6 seasons in a movie, I heard.
Yeah. Movie? Wait, movie?
Well, the first one was like a movie. The very first, yeah.
Well, I've only experienced part of one episode of this, and my sister started watching this on Hulu, and it's actually before I came here today. And I was watching part of it while I was looking other stuff up on my computer, and as I was watching it, the main character, I guess you would say, her name is Sunny.
Okay,
and she was in a relationship online with this quote-unquote dude, talking back and forth, texting, all this stuff. Never, I don't know if they ever actually talked physically. I can't remember. They might have. But they were always texting and eventually got to the point where they were texting along that apparently a texting, messaging relationship led to I love you and I want to marry you someday kind of thing. That kind of like real early 20s, late teens, pathetic kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Where you didn't learn the lesson and it's time for you to learn lesson. And I'm sitting there watching it, and it came to that point of time where it's like, hey, these two are going to meet up. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at my sister, it's like, here it comes. Here it fucking comes. Like, she's going to get her whole world blown up. She's going to realize how dumb she's been, and she's going to grow up, and it's going to be great. I'm sitting there eating it like fucking pudding. Like, here it comes. Like, here it comes. And you answer the door, and it's an overweight girl who's just been fucking with her the whole time. Like, there it is! There it is! That's my fucking sprinkles on my pudding right there. There it is. She got fucked with. And by the way, the girl that was like the main character, she was kind of a bitch. Like, not really, but like...
The Sunny was a bitch?
Yeah, kind of. Like, when they pulled up to the house, like, the person online had talked about how... I don't know if they talked about how they had money, but they talked about how they did all this kind of stuff. So I think her expectations were a bit higher. And when she pulled up the house wasn't shitty, but it was like a 1-story kind of like real small
like
house
a
in this
ranch.
neighborhood. Like it was in the middle of the suburbs. So it was like it was not, I wouldn't say shitty, but it wasn't nice. It was your average, I guess, lower middle class kind of house. And when she pulled up, she was like, "Oh, is this it? No, that can't be it, is it?" And the second she said that, I was like, "Oh, you're a stuck-up bitch." And that's all I'm hearing right now, is you're kind of stuck up because that's your expectation. So I was like, okay, she deserves this now. She deserves this lesson, this life lesson. And it turned out like the person that was, she wasn't fucking with her on purpose. It was more like she was lonely because she's been bullied all her life, and when she created the Facebook profile, it was to get back at somebody, but then it just kind of led into other things, and she was using it as like a connection to other people in the outside world kind of thing. It was a real sweet story, but at the same time, I was like, Sunny got her fucking ass handed to her, and I'm really happy about it. And I'm real, because that's my cynical mind. I'm real happy about it because it's like, you've learned your lesson. Don't be dealing with, no online relationship is gonna lead to anything like that. Come on.
Have you ever been in an online relationship?
I've never been in a relationship.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
You've had girlfriends.
No.
What about that? I don't want to say names.
No, that's fine. You can say the name. I know who you're talking about.
I dated.
I dated.
Okay.
I dated her
whatever
a few
term
times.
you want to use.
But
dated.
here's the thing. That didn't go past like 3 weeks. So, and I was in college at the time, so I could only ever see her on the weekends. So that was even less time. So I've never actually been in a relationship with anybody.
Well, I've never been in an online relationship with anybody, but I was in a long distance relationship, and they're hard. They're hard. I can't imagine meeting somebody online, just not knowing them at all, and like that's so weird to me. I can't. I'm not going to be judgy, but it's fucking weird.
Oh, I'll be judgy because I've seen those like late teens like relationships turn into like, oh my God, I love this person so much that I've only ever talked to for about 5 minutes, but they're going to be the person I'm marrying for the rest of my life and blah, blah, blah. And I understand it's a lesson that needs to be learned, but it doesn't mean I can't enjoy it while they learn the lesson. So
when I was young, I was in high school. Fucking high school, I know. I went on vacation to the beach in South Carolina with a friend of mine and our other friend. There was 3 of us. I went with my friend and his family. His family go there every year. Summertime. We went, and I'm in my prime. All right, I'm in my prime. Yeah. So I met a girl. I met a girl.
A Carl girl.
Carl girl. I met a girl. And this was a long time ago. She was quite attractive, and she was from Cincinnati, Ohio, nowhere near where we live. And it was like great. Like I met her like one of the first days we were there on vacation, and her family was there like the same week we were. And so I freaking hook up with this girl on vacation. It's what you do. And I really liked her. And as we both went home, first of all, when she first met me, she tried to catfish me. But I'm not meeting her online, I'm meeting her in person. She gave me a fake name. She told me a fake name.
What was the name? What was the fake name?
She told me her name was Kia Kindlewood.
Oh, that's a fake.
So fucking fake. And she told me she lived in San Francisco, California. Her name was Kia Kindlewood.
Were you like, okay, Kia from San Francisco, with quotes in your hands?
Well,
okay.
Well, see, I was young and dumb and naive. What I should have done was leave it at that. Leave it as like your nice, Kenny Chesney song where you have a summer love, and leave it at that.
Right.
And then that's the end of it. It's one thing maybe you reminisce about, and that's the end of it. But no, I was young, dumb, naive, all those, whatever you want to use. So we started talking. After vacation was over, she went back and she told me her real name, and she told me she lived in Cincinnati, not San Francisco. And so we started talking over the phone, long distance relationship, to the point where I started driving to see her, and she came here a couple times. We were together for like a long time, and it was horrible. It was awful. She was a terrible person in the long run, and she was younger than I was, not much, a few years, and it was just being that far away, not really knowing the person like you should. It ended horribly, and I guess you learn from your mistakes. I was so young. So was she, but we were both so young. You learn from your mistakes. You become a better person. But I can't imagine some of these episodes of Catfish on MTV that I've seen. The situations here, I would have screamed. Like, I thought I was stupid. But at least I had seen the person face to face. I had gone to her house. She had come to mine. Like, yeah, when I first met her, she gave me a fake name and fake city. But for all she knew, it was going to be like a summer romance, and that's the end of the story, which is would have probably been better. That's what.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good memory.
That would have been a good memory. It would have. Yeah, it would have.
You would have said to yourself to this day, "That's the one that got away." Who knows what could have happened?
But now I fucking know.
But we had a good time at least.
Yeah, live for the moment, right, Adam?
Right.
You live for the moment. That's all.
As
life
Eminem
is.
said,
life is just a series of moments. What did Eminem say, though?
What was it? What was the song? Live for the moment. You want it. You never let it go. You only get one shot.
His knee's weak. Pull palms are sweaty.
Yeah.
Dude, I love 8 Mile. Clarence parents got a real good marriage.
More of the story is Skype is your best friend.
I mean, it's so like how fucking stupid can you be? I imagine Catfish it can't be on for that long.
It still is.
I mean, what'd you say? 6 seasons in a movie?
It's still going. Like it's currently on. It's
like
6 seasons.
people are aware of this whole catfish epidemic. We're gonna call it right now. And in today's day and age, with Skype, with FaceTime, with everything, like you gotta ask yourself. All right.
Hell, even Snapchat.
I've been seeing this dude for some time now, and I ain't never seen him. I ain't never met his family. All he does is text me, and like, there's a red flag. Maybe I'm just like these guys on MTV. Maybe I'm being catfished. You got to ask yourself these kinds of questions. Don't be stupid.
No.
Don't be stupid. So we haven't done one of our lists in a while.
It's been some time.
Yeah, I figured let's give it a go. So I was thinking about movies. And,
what else would you be thinking about?
Well, there's a lot of things, but movies. I was thinking about movies that were remakes or reboots that I really enjoyed.
You picked the worst list for me to make. I'm sorry. I had more of a difficult time with this list than I've had with any other list.
And we've done top 10s before. We're only doing a top 5. And we wanted to do like remakes or reboots that we like. They don't have to be like some of mine on my some of mine on my list aren't nowhere near as good as the original, but I enjoy them. So they made my list. What about you?
I've got a couple that I liked, and then the rest are just like fillers, I guess. I can't stand reboots and remakes. I don't like them. I can't stand them. They're bad.
You need to be less cynical.
No, but I like the originals. Why would I watch a remake when it's basically the same thing as real, just updated CGI and shit like that? Like, it's no. I'll just watch the original. What do I care?
Out of my 5, I think 3 of them on my list I like. Maybe 4. Definitely 3. I like the remake better than the original. And that's hard to do.
It is. It's a thing. You chose a list. Why don't you lead us off?
Okay. I'll go with my number 5. And this is one that you know I'm going to have on my list.
I know.
And I liked the reboot. It's a reboot, not a remake. It was a reboot.
I don't consider that to be any difference, really. Like, reboot and remake, who gives a shit? It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing, basically.
Right. Okay. I'm okay with that. So I liked it. It was nowhere near as good as the original. And the original is one of my favorite movies of all time. This movie I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was fun. I accepted it for what it was. Adam, you hate this movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. My number 5 is the Ghostbusters remake with the all-female cast.
Did you say Scooby-Doo? No, you said Ghostbusters. I'm sorry.
Ghostbusters.
I get those two movies confused because live action Scooby-Doo and live action they're almost the same movies. I get those confused. I'm sorry.
I like the Ghostbusters remake with the all-female cast. I had fun with it. It's nowhere near as good as the original Ghostbusters, and I don't think they ever tried to do that because the original is a classic. It was fun to me. I enjoyed it. I liked being immersed into that, I don't want to say universe, but I guess culture again. I liked it. You shake your head. I know you hate this movie.
I'm trying to not say anything because every time you bring the movie up, I have to throw my opinion out there. But I'm trying to just let you have your moment and let you have your movie. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, that's my number 5. What about you?
My number 5, like I said, there's only like 1 or 2 that I actually enjoyed. The rest are fillers. So I guess my number 5 that I mildly enjoyed was The Time Machine. I thought the remake of
H.G. Wells.
Yes. Apparently I didn't even know this. Apparently there was another older Time Machine movie.
Oh, yeah.
But I was looking up movies on lists and I realized the one that I saw was a remake and I was like, oh, okay, well I enjoyed that movie, so
There was one from like the 2000s that came out.
that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
It was okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It
was entertaining. It wasn't a good movie.
It was fascinating for me because I love time machine or time travel movies and video games where it shows you a distant future and a distant past and a far future and stuff like that. Just their theories of what it might look like, what it might be.
The moon exploded.
Exactly. And this one took you not just to the future, it took you to the future, and then it took you to the even further future, to like the end of the world
Which
almost.
you thought was the past, but it was really after the end of the world when it like restarts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting, so I put that as my number 5.
That's cool. My number 4 is a movie that I've seen the original and I've seen the remake. I like both of them, but I would go so far to say that I like the remake more than I like the original, and I really like the original too. And I'm talking about True Grit.
I only ever saw the remake. I never saw the original.
And I know you're not a fan of Westerns. We've talked about them before.
That's fine. Yeah. It's better than Ghostbusters is what I'm going to say.
The original was John Wayne, and the remake was Jeff Bridges.
Didn't John Wayne say Pilgrim a lot? Didn't he say Pilgrim all the time?
He did, but I don't know if he did it when he was playing Rooster in True Grit, but maybe he did. I don't know. I haven't seen the original in a really long time, but True Grit is my number 4. Good Western, good adaptation. Very similar, almost scene for scene almost.
I can't remember if I saw the remake or not, so I can't remember.
Jeff Bridges? I thought you did.
I might have, but then again, all Westerns blend together. They're all basically all the same movie, so I have no idea. I saw Magnificent Seven. That was a great movie. That was a good movie.
It's a remake. It's on your list?
No, but it was a good movie. It wasn't a great movie. I didn't even know it was a remake.
Yeah,
so.
Magnificent Seven's a remake, and I have never seen the original or the remake, so therefore it's not on my list. So.
Remake was entertaining.
Okay.
It was a good watch.
You've never seen the original?
Nope.
Okay.
My number 4, I put on there Evil Dead, the remake of Evil Dead. It's not better than the original.
No, how could you be?
It's 100% not better. The original is great. It's amazing. You can't be better. And I don't think they were trying to be better. I think they want to turn the cult classic campy horror movie into like an actual legitimate horror movie.
I don't like that.
I don't like
the
it.
Campiness of
I don't like it either, but I think they did a good job doing it though.
And then in Evil Dead 2, an Army of Darkness, it pretty much becomes self-aware.
Yeah.
And the humor of it is almost better than the horror aspect. The first Evil Dead was trying to be a legitimate horror movie, but it was like a B horror movie.
Yeah.
It was so bad it was great. And in Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, they know that. And it's so great. I love that. I love that trilogy.
But like I said, I will say like the remake, they were trying to go for a real horror movie, and I think they succeeded. I think it was an actually good horror movie, but it's nowhere near as good as my favorite Evil Dead original, but I'll throw that as my number 4. Throw him a bone to chew on.
Okay.
Throw him my bone to chew on.
My number 3 is one that will come as no surprise to you. But it is Star Trek. The Chris Pine Star Trek.
I pine for Chris.
So it's a reboot, but I love the way they and a lot of Star Trek fans don't like this, but I'm good with it because I'm such a huge Trekkie and I love the television shows.
We got a comic book sitting here about an alternate universe right there. Like, it's alternate universe.
Yes, we do. I'm a huge Trekkie, and I love how they were able to reboot the films without taking away from what has already been done.
I'm going to stop you right here for a second. Okay, we're going to go back to a previous of your picks. I think, and I don't know if this would have worked, but I think maybe if they would have went the Star Trek route as opposed to what the route they might have went to, I might have liked the Ghostbusters remake better if they would have done the alternate universe kind of thing. Maybe that would have played a little bit better on me if they would have done it that route kind of thing. You know, I'm just throwing it out there, because I understand. At first, whenever I was when people were talking about Star Trek, why did they have to erase what the original? Like, the original was great and everything like that, blah, blah. And then when they did the Ghostbusters remake, I was like, Well, I mean, I don't understand why it can't exist in the same universe. I can't, or even like an alternate universe. I don't understand why they did completely erase the original. So I kind of get where they're coming from a little bit. Maybe if they had done it that way, I would have liked it better. So, but at the very least, what you're saying is Star Trek kept the original universe intact and just made an alternate universe.
Exactly, and they tied it in with Spock, Leonard Nimoy's character, how he traveled through time, the space-time continuum, and he's in both realities.
Yeah.
So he's the central figure that ties them together, and it's just
Great homage to Leonard Nimoy too.
I love that man is fantastic. I special place in my heart for Leonard Nimoy, but I would go so far to say as Star Trek the original series, Star Trek the Next Generation, television shows are amazing.
Oh yeah.
The movies,
Well, most of them are amazing.
I'm talking every episode. I can't rate every episode.
No, I mean like most of the series. There's some series that are like kind of iffy. Like Voyager's great. DS9 is iffy.
Oh no! I'm just talking about the original series and the Next Generation.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like all the series.
No.
together. Okay. I was gonna say.
I'm talking about the original series and the Next Generation.
Fair enough.
Only those two television series.
Amazing.
I love both of them. And the only reason I'm using those two is because they both have movies. The movies, as a Trekkie, I love them, but let's be honest. The Star Trek movies are not that good. The television show they are that good.
Yeah.
So when people ask me, what do you like better, Star Trek or Star Wars? I found the answer to that question. Television show, Star Trek. Movies, Star Wars.
It's a bit of a cop out, but it works.
It is. It's totally a cop out.
I just watched. I told you I just watched the Darmok episode of Next Generation today. It's a great episode right there.
Shaka when the walls fell.
Darmok and Tanagra, or Darmok and I can't remember. I can't
Captain
remember.
and Tennille. But anyway, I like how J.J. Abrams started this universe, and it's been going strong for three movies now. So
Yeah.
I like it a lot. So Star Trek is my number 3.
My number 3, once again, another fill-in. Haven't hit my real ones. Dawn of the Dead, the remake with what was it? 2000.
Yeah,
what year it came out? Whatever it is.
03 maybe.
Something like that. I don't
02?
know. The one with the running zombies, and they were still same movie. Just
They're in the
zombies
mall.
are running- yeah, they're in the mall again, but they're now running zombies, and they're trying to get away. I thought it was a good zombie movie. I thought it was a pretty good remake too. Didn't take anything away from the original and just kind of added to it. It was like it was a good zombie movie. It didn't try to add too much backstory to the characters and try to make it super emotional or anything like that. There was a bit of emotion, but not too much, and it was just like it's a good zombie movie.
I like it.
So
I like it. It's nowhere near as good as the original.
didn't say it was.
No.
Like I said, this is a
Right.
fill-in. My number 1 and number 2 are ones I genuinely liked. So
Yeah.
like I said, it's a fill-in.
Yeah, I liked the Dawn of the Dead remake, but the original is still so much better, and I loses points for me because the original they were in Pittsburgh, and the remake they were in Milwaukee. Like, why?
Milwaukee.
So the whole George Romero universe should always center around Pittsburgh. So that's a good. Okay, so what do you got number 2?
Number 2.
My number 2, this is a great one. I'm going to go with Casino Royale.
Ew.
James Bond, I'm a huge Bond fan. I've seen every James Bond film, including the original Casino Royale.
Which I don't think I've seen. I don't think I saw the original.
It before Dr. No. Ian Fleming's first James Bond novel was Casino Royale. His second one was Dr. No. Dr. No was the more popular. So it's like, what's the Chronicles of Narnia? Are you familiar?
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is not the first book.
Yeah.
It was somewhere sandwiched in the middle, but it was the most popular one. So when they made the movies, they started with the most popular one. So
It's interesting.
They kind of did that with when the James Bond the first James Bond movie everybody knows is Dr. No. You know,
Yeah.
it's Sean Connery, Ursula Andrews, what a babe. Coming out of the water. Oh, I love Dr. No is one of my favorite Bond movies of all time. Little do people know that prior to Dr. No being released, they did release Casino Royale, but it was released by a small company, it was like a BBC release. And James Bond, Ursula Andrews was in it, but James Bond was like, she was James Bond. James Bond is just a code name.
Yeah.
It's not really a person, which we've come to know from later episodes. So it was it was really bad. My dad is the biggest Bond fan, and I got my love of Bond from him. He owns them all, including the original Casino Royale, which is so bad that when Daniel Craig, when they remade it, it almost rebooted the franchise. When they went,
did reboot the franchise.
They did. When they went from Pierce Brosnan to Daniel Craig, and there was a big gap in between the Brosnan and the Craig movies. When they did the Casino Royale, it started the new Bond films that we know and love. I love Casino Royale, the new one. It's great. It's my number 2.
Fair enough. My number 2, I guess, is actually a movie that I've told you to watch. I can't remember if you've actually seen it or not. Remake of a classic Stallonism movie would be the Dread movie with Carl Urban.
I watched it.
You did see it?
I've seen both of them.
Okay,
yeah.
I can't remember if I ever actually asked you if
I
you
just
saw
recently watched it. It was on Sci-Fi Channel.
it. Okay.
It was on actual
What
TV.
did you think of the remake? I loved it personally. I thought it was a great mindless action movie that didn't have too much of a main story to like if you remember
You didn't tell me that Cersei Lannister was the villain.
I forgot about that. But she didn't look that great in that one. She
had like scars.
She was and she was like all like
she was
drugged
badass
up.
though.
She was. But like I love the original Judge Dredd. I loved that whole movie. It's so great, so amazing. And I even enjoy like the whole overarching story of, oh, he's a clone, and oh, he's got to, take back the law and all this other bullshit. But I really enjoyed this Dredd for just being a Dredd movie. You're just following a judge on one of their missions, and it just so happens that there is a minor corruption in the judge hierarchy, but it's not some big major thing. They're just trying to defeat a gang kind of thing. It was no overarching mindless backstory that you need to follow and all this other stuff. That's what I loved about it. It was just an great action movie, and Carl Urban was amazing in it. He was great in it. What did you think of it, though?
I enjoyed it. I like the original better because I like the campiness of the 1990s Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Van Damme action films.
But as it stands alone, though, if it were to stand alone without without knowledge of the previous movie, how would you think of it?
It's tough. It's tough to get past.
Well, because it's like I asked you what you think of the movie. Like, it was all right. I liked the original one better, and you described the original one. I was like, well, I want to know what you think of the new one. Like, what did you think of the new one?
I liked it. There was some parts. The whole his trainee. There was like the mind reader. I could do without. She was good looking.
Wasn't Judge Dredd a comic book though before? Because I think it was a comic book before, and I believe it. I think it was. And I think that story arc was part of the comics that there were. I could be completely wrong, but I think if I remember reading about it, that was part of some of the story arcs that they just never included in the original.
Last week was Free Comic Book Day.
It was.
There was a Judge Dredd comic.
You should have grabbed it.
I didn't. I reached my quota. I would have had to pay.
I mean, I would imagine. Well, even like I don't know. I think I remember reading about it, that being kind of a story arc, but I would imagine dystopian future, cybernetic, like enhancements and stuff like that. There might be some people with latent psychic abilities and things like that.
I liked the idea of the super city.
Yeah.
The fact that they had that many people living on the planet was mind-boggling to me. But it takes the same idea from the original with the judge, jury, executioner.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a cool idea. I liked the movie. I did. I was pleasantly surprised. You've been talking it up, but I like the original so much that I really didn't think I would like it, and I did. So
I hope they make a sequel. I honestly hope they turn that into like a small series of movies where every few years they'll come out with another one that's like another one of those like mindless ones where it's like, it's following Dredd again and his partner, doing another adventure kind of thing. That would be welcome.
they could start a universe, is what you're saying?
Yeah, start a universe, you know. Anyway, what's your number one, Scott? What is your numero uno? uno numero.
My number one is Ocean's 11.
Really?
Yes. And let me tell you, I love the original with the Rat Pack, with Sinatra and Dean Martin.
Never saw it.
It's great. But the new one, I think, was from the early 2000s. What a cast.
It was good. It was a good movie.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, everybody. Don Cheadle, Casey Affleck, what's his name? Scott Caan. Oh my gosh, it was that cast was amazing. And it's a great heist movie. One of my favorite heist movies. And so good, better than the original, and I love the original. But it's just, it's dated. It's so dated, and you can tell. The newer one with the new technology and how they're able to do the tech, love it. Love Ocean's 11. Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13. Now there's a new Ocean's 8 coming out. All female cast. Sorry, Adam.
No, I'm super disappointed in that movie that's coming out. Simply because there's no original cast members a part of it, really.
George Clooney, I think, makes
No, he's not.
Somebody makes a cameo.
It's Matt Damon.
Matt Damon,
Linus. But he's not part of the crew, though. He's not part of the crew, and not even Julia Roberts isn't part of it. If Julia Roberts was it, then I'd see it as a legitimate spin-off, but it's not even her. That's the reason why
give it a chance.
Well, no, that's the reason why I argued it doesn't need to be a spin-off. Make it its own thing. If you're going to have an all-female heist movie, fine. Make it its own thing. Don't piggyback off of an Ocean's movie. Make it its own thing. You know what I mean?
But if they would have done that, people would have said, like, oh, this is Ocean's 11 with girls.
It's better than saying, like, oh, it's Ocean... It's better than saying, oh, it's Ocean's 8. Where's all my other Ocean people? Like, where are they at? Not even Julia Roberts is in there.
Get Danny, Rusty, and Linus. That's all you need is those three.
I would be happy if Julia Roberts was at least part of it. If she was at least part of it, then I'd be like, okay, I get it.
Get Julia Roberts, get Catherine Zeta-Jones. Get the two of them in there somehow. Just tie them in. Have them be the mentor to the group that are actually pulling off the heist. Have them be like the Saul character.
Exactly. With George Clooney at the backside making like a quick 10-minute cameo of like, here's how we're doing it. It's, you know what it says to me? It says to me, they're not confident that this movie's good enough to live on its own, so they have to piggyback off the name.
Do you like Oceans 11, 12, and 13?
I liked 11 and 12. 13 was a bit iffy, but I enjoyed it, is what I'm going to say. It was a decent movie.
Yeah.
So,
I like them.
But that's all it means to me. They're not confident in their movie that they got to say, let's piggyback it off that.
Oceans 11 is my number one.
My number one, we already talked about. It's Star Trek, so let's get past that.
Okay.
We already talked about it, Star Trek.
Yeah, that's the only double we had. I have a couple honorable mentions. I have two honorable mentions.
Go for them.
My first honorable mention is Planet of the Apes, and I want to be specific on this because the original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston and Roddy McDowall is amazing. I love it. And there were several films. And then in the early 2000s, they did the reboot remake with Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark.
That movie sucked. I did not like that movie one bit. And they didn't do anything else with it, thank God. But then they did the Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
That was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Thank you. Rise was the second one?
Yeah, I think that was the second one.
War was the third?
It's the third one to come out.
Okay. Dawn. That I liked.
That had James Franco in it. That's
James Franco. Yes. Yeah. I liked that film. And that made my honorable mention. My second honorable mention is The Bad News Bears. The remake was with Billy Bob Thornton. Billy Bob, I was drawing a blank here. Too much booze. Billy Bob Thornton. The original was Walter Matthau, which was funny as hell, and I like the original. But the new one was totally Billy Bob Thornton. Such crude humor, completely different. I liked it a lot. So those were Planet of the Apes and Bad News Bears were my 2 honorable mentions.
Okay.
Yep.
It's good. If I had to pick an honorable mention, I'd pick like The Incredible Hulk, which had Edward Norton in it, which was the remake after that terrible Hulk movie that was, what's his name? Who did the Ang Lee? Was it that did the original Hulk movie or whatever? Was that it? Yeah. I guess my pick honorable mention would be like The Incredible Hulk, which was more of like, I guess you could say it's more like a sequel than a reboot, but I consider it more of a reboot because it revamped the franchise and brought them into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So if I had to pick one, it'd be that.
Now, the Ang Lee one, Eric Bana was the Hulk.
Yeah.
From Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Bana was the one with Edward Norton. Was that a direct sequel to that one?
I think it was mostly a direct sequel, but it was considered a reboot because it kind of revamped it.
Okay.
It kind of like it didn't go through the origin story as much. It just kind of like gave you like a brief synopsis kind of, and then it kind of got into him being on the run. So that's kind of why I would give it an honorable mention, even more so than it being on an actual list.
See, the Hulks had some trouble. I mean, they had Eric Bana, Edward Norton, and now they're with Mark Ruffalo, who it seems like Mark Ruffalo has taken the reins.
Yeah.
He's taken the helm. He's done a nice job with it. I don't know if they're willing to throw their hat over the wall and do another Hulk standalone.
They're not. I don't see a Hulk standalone happening, but they're kind of doing more Hulk-based stories. Like the new Thor Ragnarok has a lot of Hulk in it. Like
the Hulk appears in a lot of other Avengers.
Well, he's like
films.
He's like a main part of the story in Ragnarok. I don't think he just appears. I think he's like a main, because the world that Thor is on, if you see it in the trailer, the world, I think that's Hulk world. Is what I think that is. I think that's the world that Hulk takes over. Like if I've only ever seen like the animated movie, but I never read the comic book. But if I remember correctly, in the animated movie that I watched, the Avengers shipped Hulk off to like space so that he can go like another planet where he wouldn't cause any harm to anybody, but he couldn't shift into his, I'm not gonna say he couldn't, but he wasn't doing it. And when he hit the alien planet, the aliens hit him with some thing that kind of pulled his human brain into like fusing with the Hulk brain, so he couldn't transform back down into like the Bruce Banner character. He was like Hulk, but like a little bit more intelligent, so like he could be more coherent and talk and shit like that. I don't know how they're gonna do it in Ragnarok, but that's what it felt like to me.
I don't know if I like that, but we'll see. I was always wondering that because I loved the trailer. The one trailer we've seen for Ragnarok, when you see Thor in like a gladiator style arena,
haircut short and everything.
Yeah, with Jeff Goldblum in the stands, loving him, and the Hulk comes out of nowhere. I love that, but a part of me was like,
haha, yes, and like what? He's like, we're friends from work. It's okay.
It was really, but part of me was like, well, how the fuck did he get there?
Who knows?
We'll find out.
It's all alien bullshit. So,
okay, yeah, I think Marvel's had trouble. There's been a lot of different Hulks. There's been a lot of different Spider-Mans. I think 3, right? 3 for each.
Now, yeah, 3. Now.
Eric Bana, Edward Norton, Mark Ruffalo. And then we've had Tobey Maguire, James Garfield,
and Tom Holland.
So
Tom Holland is, so far, the third time's a charm, apparently, because the third seems to be the best. So,
I don't know. We have such a small sampling size.
Third time's a charm, Scott. Don't ruin it.
Okay, whatever you say.
Third time's a charm. So, Scott, I got a topic conversation before we end the show real quick that I wanted to bring to your attention to see what you thought about this. This is the new, I guess you would say, theory or belief that's out there. It has to do with ancient Egyptians. How did the ancient Egyptians build the pyramids, Scott? What is the story behind that?
Slave labor. The Israelites, right? The Jews.
The ancient Egyptians did that. They built them with slave labor. The Jewish people.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't there.
How did they get the heavy blocks up those? Like once they started building the pyramids, how'd they carry the heavy blocks up? How'd they do that? How'd they do it?
Scaffolds?
Like they use scaffolding. Like somehow the wood was able to support those heavy stone blocks.
Yeah, I mean they used a lever system. You know, that's how they did it.
Scott, what if I were to tell you were wrong?
Well, I'm always open. What you got for me?
According to a top Egyptologist, mind you, top in his field.
Top men.
We being handled by top men.
Who? Top men.
What if I were to tell you that
This belongs in a museum.
pretty much a top Egyptologist said the pyramids were built with the help from dinosaurs?
I would tell you that that's not right because dinosaurs did not live in the same time period as human beings. Now, if you were to say like mastodons,
Nope, I'm saying
because
dinosaurs.
mastodons did live during the times of the Great Pyramids, but not in that
I'm talking
area.
long necks. I'm talking brontosauruses. I'm talking
Apatosaurus?
Yeah, I'm talking those
Brontosaurus?
ones. Yeah, I'm talking those guys. A team of archaeologists at the University of Cairo, led by Egyptologist Nabir
Brachiosaur.
Ibn al-Samad, I'm butchering that pronunciation, has uncovered ancient papyri and a number of stone pallets dating back to 3500 BC, which could prove ancient Egyptians might have lived amongst some dinosaurs.
How could that prove it?
Well, I'm going to show you. This is an image from a pallet. This is
image. I got to tell you, images. People listening to the podcast, they can't see the image.
Okay, I want you to describe it though. Okay, I want you to see it, and I want you to show me what you describe. This is an image that led them in this direction for their investigation. This is one image. Right there, that picture, that is on a papyri, I believe. That is a hieroglyphic something that has been drawn, where they are taming some beast that they claim helped them make the pyramids.
So I'm looking at this. I'll describe it to the listeners. There are two creatures. They are
same creatures. They're the same kind of creatures.
They're the same kind of creatures. They look identical. They are almost, I want to say, feline. They have feline features. Both of them have long tails and very, very long necks that are almost interwoven with each other, and they're nose to nose.
Would you say the body features seem almost brontosaurus-like? On first glance, never mind your stipulation of, oh, this is not true. Just based on what you're saying, would you say it seems
the
like...
neck? The neck,
seems like
maybe.
The body features.
The body? No.
Based on somebody drawing.
No, it looks more canine or feline. It does to me. Even the legs. The leg muscles are quite accurate as far as mammals go. I don't see it being a lizard.
Are you saying a dinosaur is not a mammal?
No, it's not. It's a lizard.
No, it's an avian. Dinosaurs birds evolved from dinosaurs. Remember, that's
right. But they were unevolved at that point. They're not. But
mammal. They were never considered reptiles. Now, once scientists figured that birds evolved from reptiles or from dinosaurs, they figured dinosaurs were not reptiles. That was the consensus.
I think they're still
they're
classified
not
as reptiles, but they're certainly not mammals. Adam.
Here, I'll look it up to see if they think dinosaurs are reptiles. But
they're not going to be mammals. Birds aren't mammals. Birds are birds.
But wouldn't you say that based on the long necks and the description that they're going to give, and they're going to give a description, it's not just the picture. There's the hieroglyphs give description based on what they know of the ancient hieroglyphic language. They give descriptions of the beast that was tamed that helped them build the pyramids. Like, for example, they were long-necked behemoth creatures that would eat the grass.
Where are you getting that from?
They would eat the grass. What?
You seeing that on there? Because I don't see that. Where are you getting the long-necked behemoths that would eat
From the hieroglyphics, from the people that know how to read hieroglyphics, and the people that know how to have studied for decades to read this language. That's what they're saying. That this is what this is what the theory is that they believe right now, or that they're working towards discovering whether it's true or not. That they say that there are these beasts that they tame that could that would eat the grass of their land, and that they were so huge that one tail swipe would swipe away an army. That's how big they were, and things like that.
Well, then that's it. That's got to be it. That's dinosaurs. Then the world is 6,000 years old.
From the article, it says...
And Adam and Eve saddled up dinos.
From the article...
Noah took them on the ark. Our flat earth just...
The article says, this incredible discovery occurs decades after paleontologists have unearthed the first fossils of a colossal new species of dinosaur in Egypt. So decades ago, they uncovered fossils of a new type of dinosaur in Egypt, and it's supposedly one of the heaviest creatures to have ever walked the earth.
Okay. Have they carbon dated? Have they found out approximate...
I don't know. I'm just telling you what they're working on figuring out
I'm not denying that there weren't prehistoric creatures that lived in the area now known as Egypt, but who's to say that they were around in the time of the Egyptian Empire?
It says, quoting from somebody who did it, "We can't speculate if this is the species of dinosaur that may have lived amongst the ancient Egyptians, but fossil remains are fairly prevalent in the Nile region, and these amphibious beasts were definitely among are common in the area at the time." So they walked on land and they went through the water.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it for 1 second. Why has this not been made public? Why aren't we hearing more about this?
It's right here. This
is the first I've heard of it. You're telling me right
this
now.
Article. This.
I feel like if this was way back grand discovery,
this article is way back in March, and it's not the only article to talk about it.
This is some grand discovery, and
because one thing we both listen to a lot of podcasts. One thing you have to learn about certain things during podcasts, especially the scientific community, there is, I don't want to say conspiracies in certain scientific communities, but there is.
But that's what you're saying.
But, well, this has to do with another book that I've read about ancient civilizations. I talked about it many podcasts ago about this guy who's doing research on like the lost city of Atlantis and the fact that it might have existed a long time ago and there might be evidence of ancient civilizations existing, but the normal scientific community will not acknowledge that it's a possibility. And a lot of the times the people that are in the scientific community won't acknowledge it because what it'll mean is they're wrong about a lot of things and they have to relearn things, and it means they're not right, so they won't acknowledge it. So it's possible that it is one of those things where it's like, it's been a fact. It's been considered a fact for so long that no dinosaurs lived amongst men, and they died so many years ago, and they blah, blah, all this other stuff, and that these are all facts, when in fact there's a possibility that it might flip the script. Like if this turns out to be true, it could turn the scientific community on its head. And it means so many things will be changed and so many people will be wrong about certain things that it may not be considered mainstream. Like there's two different kinds of scientists. There's scientists and then there's mainstream scientists, which are the scientists that believe the things that are in the facts of the current science books and will not consider any alternative facts. They will not consider anything that might make
that's not
what
necessarily true.
Scientists
are
true.
open.
No.
They are. You have to have facts, though.
I'm not saying. What I'm saying is, you can't say all scientists are open to facts because
not all, but the majority.
But there's a lot of mainstream scientists, and I've seen interviews with some of these people. I have seen interviews with other people that have legitimate theories that they want to test, that they want to bring to the mainstream, and they're laughed out of the scientific community because they're considered fools.
You're laughed if you don't bring proof. I'm sorry. A 35,000 or 3,500 year old papyrus.
They're not. But what it is? But what it is?
That's not facts.
They're not saying it's facts. They're not saying it's facts.
Well, then it's not true until you have facts.
They're not saying it's fact. But what I'm saying is, you're missing. You're missing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in the scientific community, like you're saying, like, oh, it's not true until you bring facts. But a lot of times, if you don't bring facts and you want to say, look, this is the theory I'm working on.
Call it a theory then.
This is the theory that I'm working on. Like, this could be it. Like, it's entirely possible. I want to see what you guys think. And those people that even say theory will be laughed out of the community because it will fundamentally change the way people see things. And a lot of the people that make these decisions are like older scientists that have been there for years and years and decades, and they don't want to deal with it.
Who devoted their life to studying this and have not found facts contrary to what they've come up with, and they still don't. Here, go with me. Go with me here.
What you're saying is,
can you go with me here?
That's fine, but I'm just before you make your thought, think about this. What you're saying is there's no corruption in the scientific community. That's what you're saying.
97 out of 100 scientists say that climate change is real and it's caused by human beings. And you hear from the conservative right that they're paid. They're climatologists. They're paid to make these things. The 3 scientists that say that it's not are the ones that are right. I'm sorry, Adam. If 97 out of 100 scientists say that climate change is real, global warming is a thing, and it's caused by people, that's what I'm going with. If you're going to have one scientist that's coming at you with a papyrus, with a long neck creature and whatever, that I'm always willing to listen. But until you have facts, until you can definitively prove something, it's nothing but just a theory. And there's a whole bunch of crazy conspiracy theories out there that can hold just as much water as a 3,500-year-old papyrus. Nothing.
It's not one 3,500-year-old papyrus. There's about 30 of them that are many feet long that all tell tales of this thing. There's
so
many.
You think dinosaurs built the pyramids?
No. Are you? No, I didn't say that. But surprisingly, I'm not being as closed-minded as you are. You're saying no, it doesn't exist. I'm saying
I'm not saying that.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I need more proof.
Yes, you are. You're saying until I get more proof. Yes. No, it didn't happen. What I'm saying is,
I'm not going to say it's a definitive thing.
I didn't say it was definitive. Well, I didn't say it was definitive.
That's what I said.
No, I didn't.
Rewind the tape.
Here's the thing. What I said. What I'm saying is. Do I believe it? I don't necessarily believe it right now, but I think it is worth researching, and I think it is something that has to be taken into consideration because of what we're seeing right here. What you're saying is bullshit. Bullshit doesn't exist.
Do you think the Earth is flat? Because there's been some pretty fire memes out there that have showed that the world. There's no.
You're calling bullshit.
Adam, there's no definitive proof. How do we know that the Earth isn't flat? We need to seriously keep our minds open.
You can see the curvature of the Earth.
We need to keep our minds open.
When you go up in these skyscrapers, you can see the curvature of the Earth. Okay,
but
these tall steps, you can see it.
I've never seen it, so I should keep my mind open that the Earth is flat. I've never seen a dinosaur building a pyramid, but I'm supposed to keep my mind open for it?
Well, to that fact, here's what I'm going to say. Okay, we're going to get an argument. But to that fact, I'm going to say, you never saw Jesus get hung on a cross, but you believe in Jesus.
I have faith.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Stop! Don't be a child.
I'm not. I'm just saying,
you're interrupting me by saying bullshit. That's something my 3-year-old does.
Because that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. I'm telling you, I'm trying to figure out, what I'm trying to appeal to your child right now. Your childlike instinct of
I played with dinosaurs as a kid.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to appeal to your childlike instinct, hey, there's this theory. What do you think about this theory? And you're like, whatever. Whatever. It's ridiculous. Whatever.
I kind of think
I want to see facts. I want to see.
I'll be the first one if somebody comes at me with proof.
What proof do you need? They found fossils in the area dating back.
I want the fossils carbon dated. I want them in the same neighborhood. Because
they were in the same place. They were in the same area.
No, not the physical neighborhood.
Okay, thank you.
The time frame. I'm talking about dinosaurs living 65 million years before human beings. That's the time frame we're going off of. That's not even in the same ballpark, Adam. And I'm not talking about a physical ballpark. I'm talking about a time frame. This is something they can do. They can physically carbon date this. They can find a reference of time. If you find a dinosaur or a fossil record that carbon dates itself in the nearby human beings, then that is a huge find. That's going to be all over the news. That's going to rewrite history books. That's going to change the way people think.
But you're dismissing it, is what the problem is.
I'm not dismissing it. If you can prove it to me, I'd be so excited.
You're not encouraging the idea to find the truth. What you're saying is, like, when I first gave it in, you can look back at the tape, you're like, I don't buy it for a second.
I don't
buy it for a second.
I don't.
And I didn't say...
I could be wrong.
And you know what? I didn't say they factually said that. I didn't say it was absolutely true. They said they found something that made them believe that it's possible that dinosaurs might have lived and helped them build the pyramids during the Egyptian times. And the second I said that, you're like, I don't buy it. It's bullshit. I don't buy it.
I never said bullshit. I said, I'm not buying it. It's my opinion, which I am entitled to. I'm not buying it. I don't think that it's true. I don't think dinosaurs even remotely came close to walking this planet with human beings.
I mean, you can give your opinion.
If you can find proof to prove me wrong, then I will gladly say that's awesome. I'm so excited. The Flintstones could be a thing.
When I started this conversation, I was kind of trying to appeal to your childlike nature of like, oh, that might be interesting. What if maybe they did this? What if that happened and everything?
Hypothetically, it would be fucking awesome. Hypothetically, it would be. But I'm from the school of thought. I love dinosaurs. I played with them as a kid. I've read on them. I've done research on them. I know that they did not live with humans until more proof, and that's what I want, proof to come out.
I didn't want your scientific mind. I wanted your speculation. I wanted your, this might be interesting. Like, that sounds really cool.
And as far as religion goes, you brought up really that I'm a Christian. Faith is completely different than proof. There's not going to be proof that there's an old man with a giant white beard who lives up in the clouds.
Why can't you have faith that, maybe the Egyptians, worked with dinosaurs and built the Egyptian pyramids? Why can't we have faith for that then?
Well,
it can't.
It's
what
not,
if it's something that can't be proven? Then maybe it's faith. Why can't science prove about God then? Why can't science prove God then? Blah blah.
You can't argue science, my friend. You can't.
I didn't want to argue science. I wanted, Scott, you missed the whole point of this. I wanted your childlike wonder and your speculation, and you just called bullshit on the whole thing. This whole, whatever. I'm done with the conversation.
Dinosaur,
no, you can't sing that song anymore. You are not allowed to have any childlike wonder or whatever.
The last dinosaur.
No more childlike wonder for you.
If you'd like to get a hold of For Your Distraction, send us an email at foryourdistraction@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook by searching For Your Distraction. Like us on there. Or we are on Twitter. Search for Your Distraction. Follow us. You can tweet us at podcastfyd. There's several different ways you can listen to our show. We are on SoundCloud. Search for Your Distraction and follow us on there. Also, from your Apple devices, we are on iTunes. Search for Your Distraction on your iTunes app. You can subscribe to us. You can write us a review. We are also a member of the Be Real Podcast Network. That's BREEL Network.com. There's all kinds of great shows. If you head on over to Be Real, you can listen to For Your Distraction and a whole bunch of other great shows. I'd like to give a shout out to our beer of the show, the Columbus Brewing Company's IPA India Pale Ale. I'm feeling brisk, bro.
Right?
I would love to ride a dino. I would saddle that motherfucker
You can't.
up.
They didn't exist. Doesn't matter. They didn't exist. Didn't matter. You can't do it.
Well, I tell you one thing.
Figment of your imagination.
They haven't existed in my 30-some years of life, and that's sad enough.